hear me and see the presentation on the screen. So if you could please just raise your little yellow hand for me. Great, no worries. Looks like everyone can hear us and see the screen. So we will keep you on mute for the duration of the webinar, just to ensure we don't have any background noise, but I will come back at the end and assist Gianni in answering any questions that you might have. Okay, so I'll just pass you over and we'll get started.
Thank you. Good afternoon. Once again, my name is Gianni Di Stefano. I'm the National Sales Manager for the Lufthansa Group here in Australia. And I'm really keen to run through this reasonably short presentation about the Lufthansa Premium Economy product. As some of you might know, we started releasing the product on some of our flights from late last year in December. By the end of this year, the whole Lufthansa network will have the new Premium Economy product. The presentation will be quite straightforward. We could sort of look at, generally speaking, about the network and some of the highlights and features of the fares with a few routing examples, and then we'll have a look at with a few slides on the actual Premium Economy product. Once again, as for I think as for the general fares that we have on offer on this market, one of the strengths of Lufthansa, the Lufthansa Group in particular, is the strength of the network. As a group, we are the second biggest airline group in the world with the biggest long-haul network as well. So one of the major strengths, of course, of the Lufthansa Premium Economy product is the ability to really sell and construct very interesting itineraries, because we have quite a few interline partners. You can construct routing via Asia, Africa, North America, and South America, and therefore making it at the moment probably the best possible Premium Economy product available in the market, both for its flexibility, as just mentioned, the network, and of course the pricing proposition. Network, I think, it's quite obvious. So looking at the map, that the extension and the width of our long-haul network from Australia, basically you can construct with our published fares routing via all those points that you see there, with the exception of West Africa. The strength of our product, as I mentioned just before, is also the ability to sell and use different interline partners, therefore being able to connect via the various long-haul destinations. With the standard fare that we have on offer, we have up to 18 interline partners, specifically for a Premium Economy, where you can fly Premium Economy directly from Australia to Asia or North and South America, and then Europe. We have 4 main interline partners: Cathay Pacific, Air New Zealand, Qantas, and Singapore Airlines. These are the 4 options that will enable you to fly Premium Economy from Australia to Asia and North and South America. As just mentioned, SQ is the latest addition since probably about the end of last week or beginning of last week. You can now sell SQ in P class from Sydney to Singapore, connecting with the Lufthansa long-haul flight from Singapore. Air New Zealand was added a few months ago. The addition of Air New Zealand, it's a big plus, especially for travel via North and South America, because of their great flight product and connection that they have to San Francisco, Los Angeles, Vancouver, Buenos Aires at the beginning of this year, at the end of December, and then very soon Houston as well. Reinforcing the point about the network and the destination that we have available with our fare structure, this is the updated version of our destinations flyer. As you can see, I will be happy to send you the PDF version of this flyer, but it's just a fantastic tool to basically, in a quick way, to find out destinations we fly to and the partners and the airline that flies to that destination. Here we have Europe, Middle East, and North Africa. And on the second page of the flyer, you have a quick overview of our long-haul network. As you can see, it's quite impressive. All the yellow dots are the Lufthansa long-haul destinations and flights. By the end of this year, as I mentioned before, all these long-haul flights will have a premium economy product. So you can imagine the ability to really construct and offer basically the whole world to your passenger. It's quite a simple task. As I mentioned before, a big highlight for us is definitely the ability to sell and connect with Air New Zealand via all these points. We are already seeing a lot of traffic being picked up, especially from Melbourne, Brisbane, and other states that rather avoid transiting via Sydney to go to North America, and specifically for premium economy. The fact that only Air New Zealand can be used in premium economy to North and South America makes it basically the airline partners of choice for that type of routing. Europe, again, our hub, as you saw with the previous slides, up to 100 destinations that are available in with the European summer timetable. Fantastic network. As part of the group, of course, we have 4 hubs, specifically for Lufthansa, Frankfurt, and Munich are the 2 main hubs. Munich, for the past 10 years, together with Zurich, has been voted number 1 or number 2 airport in Europe. It's been consistently voted in the top 10 world airports. So it's a great transfer hub, lots of interesting connections, and availability with the long-haul flights via Munich tends to be at times better than connections via Frankfurt. Again, a very important thing that I like to highlight with our European hub is just how centrally located they are. Most connecting flights from Frankfurt or Munich within 1 hour. The flying time is between half an hour to an hour. That means like flying from Sydney to Melbourne, Sydney to Adelaide is like flying from Frankfurt to Madrid or Frankfurt to Barcelona. So Europe is not as big as it seems, and even with the 2-stop option that we have, the overall traveling time is still very competitive. Some of the key features and highlights of our premium economy product. One thing that I'll also spend some time in shortly is that we have a short-term mixed economy, premium economy product as well. So it means flying economy class into Asia and premium economy from Asia onwards with Lufthansa. The level is 2049 gross. That's in addition to the year-round 2799 level in premium economy. Most likely, this sort of short-term special fare will be extended. We hope to have the definite answer from head office within the next few days. But if we manage to have it, it would be a great addition and a complementing product to the standard full premium economy fares. The great thing about our premium economy fares, of course, they can, as all our published fares, they can be combined with all Swiss and Lufthansa standard year-round fares. So the ability, therefore, to construct and create ad hoc routing is fantastic. With all our premium economy fares, you have 1 free domestic sector on Qantas in each direction. That's a big plus, especially if you want to connect from cities like Canberra, Alice Springs, Darwin, Hobart, Cairns, to connect either via Sydney or via Auckland long haul. That's a great value for money proposition for that. And with our standard premium economy fares, we allow 2 stopovers in each direction, 1 free of charge and 1 for an additional 75 euros. Should you need a third one, just please ask, because we can always give you a waiver to charge a third stopover for the same price as the second one. Another important feature with the premium economy Lufthansa fares, we do have add-ons in North America with Air Canada and United that will also auto-price in the GDS with the overriding entry. And as I just mentioned already a couple of times, the ability to sell Air New Zealand via Auckland to North or South America is definitely a big plus. And you will see with some of a couple of routing examples I'm going to give you later. The ability to construct routings via South America, for example, and Asia for less than $3,000 in premium economy is quite impressive. The next two slides are just a reminder to all of you to join Lufthansa Experts. If you're not already members, once you register in Lufthansa Experts, you have access to all our fare sheets for all the three carriers. And the reason why I'm highlighting this is because I strongly recommend to getting familiar with our fare sheet. In 2 pages, you have all the information you need to properly use and understand the basic features of our fares. In this case, obviously, I have on display the premium economy latest update fare sheet. As you can see, up on top, we have always in red, the latest news and reason for the update, the point of origin, the destination in Europe, and very neatly explain the various levels, the routing options in terms of global direction, and the interline partners. And below, you can see all the Lufthansa booking classes with respective booking classes for our interline partners. So that's very, very easy to see and to use. And if you move down to on the fare sheet, very important that you see all the carriers with all the routing options, and very clear explanation on what routing to use and which carriers to use as well. As I mentioned in the beginning, this destination in red, there are basically the remaining destinations on which the premium economy product is being added on our network by the end of this European autumn. So basically by the end of November, the whole Lufthansa long-haul network will have the premium economy product. So we just had basically a quick overview of the network, the amazing options that we have routing-wise with our interline partners, and we also a quick view of the fare sheets as a quick reference for you to basically understand the levels, the routing options, and booking classes to be used with our interline partners. The next couple of slides will show some examples of how to use our fares and some key additional pieces of information that are quite important. The first example is premium economy via Hong Kong with Cathay Pacific into St. Petersburg and coming back from Genova via Hong Kong to Sydney, and then with a domestic sector from Sydney to Brisbane on Qantas. Very, very important, as you can see from the arrow up there, whenever you're trying to use CX or SQ into Asia, please make sure you book CX or SQ in your GDS first, and then you book Lufthansa, or for that matter, Swiss or Austrian, depending on your type of fares you're using, because if you do that, you will notice a big difference. Availability on CX and SQ is a lot better if you book them first, and then you try to book the interline partner. If you book Lufthansa first, most of the time you don't get the same availability display as you would have otherwise by doing this. Other important obvious features with our fares that I mentioned before: the ability to add a domestic sector on Qantas, one in each direction. Fantastic, especially if you want to, from some of the regional capitals that we have, like Hobart, Canberra, plus regional points like Cairns and Darwin. With all our fares, obviously including the premium economy, you have that sector on Qantas, including FOC. You can stop over domestically, as you see there, as long as you fulfill the 2 stopovers in each direction. There's definitely never a problem. Sorry, the second example, before rushing to the next one, is another interesting example of using Qantas via Japan. Tokyo and Hong Kong are the only 2 routes at the moment which Qantas offers, where Qantas offers premium economy. So you can definitely use Qantas in Tango class. Qantas cannot be used to Africa or North America in premium economy. That's very, very important to remember. Then we have a connection from Haneda via Munich to Prague, return from Oporto via Singapore, and then Singapore Airlines, Singapore, Sydney. As I mentioned before, the ability to sell Singapore Airlines on our premium economy, it's a great addition. The availability in P class is reasonably good on SQs, especially if you have early booking for next year from May, June onwards. You can still find lots of flights with good P class availability. I mentioned a few slides ago the mixed economy, premium economy product that we have for 2004-09 gross. It's a great new addition to our fare offer, also because it opens up the ability to sell in very high demand periods when, as for example, if you're looking at flights over mid-December to mid-January where the economy class with most carriers is not available at all. Because of the type of fare that we have, we can use very high booking classes in the economy class compartment connecting with our long-haul flights. In this case, you have an example of using TG Thai in Bravo class from Brisbane to Bangkok, and using the LH codeshare flight operated by Singapore Airlines from Singapore to Brisbane. I did this booking or looking for this type of flights only a few days ago, and I was quite amazed. It's still so close to Christmas, where otherwise it's very, very difficult to find any type of availability. I was able to find seats on interline partners in such high demand periods. Again, as I mentioned before, the gross fare is $2,049. The other example that we see below is a possibility to travel via China with Air China, Shanghai to Paris with Lufthansa, and then coming back from Dublin via Singapore and to Sydney. As I just mentioned, you can also sell the LH codeshare flights that we now have via Singapore and Bangkok. This option is a great option, as I said before, because you can book Yankee class, and also as well, especially if you're looking at connection via Singapore, the fuel surcharge on the codeshare flight on Lufthansa is less than the fuel surcharge if you book the same flight as a SQ flight number. We now look at a couple of more examples on what we call global fares, or routings that are not via Asia in both directions. As with all our standard published fares, there is an overriding entry in Amadeus. That's the entry you can see there. Please always remember to override for the carrier that operates between, in this, for example, from North America to Europe, and not for the ones that are flying from Europe to Asia. If you do that, you will see the most of this complex itinerary would price correctly. This is the first example of a premium economy via North America coming back via Southeast Asia. Again, a good example with Air New Zealand via Auckland. Stop in Auckland, and then premium economy from Auckland to San Francisco, surface to Los Angeles to Stockholm, back via Portugal via Singapore to Sydney. The gross level year round at 2799. So if you probably noticed a few weeks ago, there was a release of some of the Star and One World premium economy levels. Those levels are much higher than these type of fares. Once again, with this type of routing, if you're headed a domestic sector in both directions, the fare would have not changed at all. It would have been we would still have a gross of 2799. The next example is I think a great example for travel via South America. A reminder for everybody, next year there will be the Olympic Games in Brazil. So as it happened for the Soccer World Cup 3 years ago, there would be quite, I suspect, a higher increase of queries and demands for travel via South America. And this fare, together with all the others that we have, both in economy and business class, is a great example of how with a relatively small amount of money, you can have quite a complex itinerary. So as we can see, we have Sydney via Auckland to Buenos Aires with and New Zealand, surface to Rio, Frankfurt, Dublin on Lufthansa, then coming back from Naples to Japan and Qantas back to Australia. Again, the fare doesn't change, 2,799 gross plus taxes. This is the last example, routing example that we have. As you can see, obviously the routing options are basically infinite. Remember, as with all our fares, we allow surface sectors in Asia or Africa or North America. So the example that we saw here of flying into Buenos Aires and flying out of Brazil applies to all our fares. You can have surface sector in Asia. You can surface between Canada and North America. So great flexibility. There is no mileage check. So as long as you have the long haul from the continents to Europe with us and one segment with Interline and the Interline partners as per the fare sheet from Australia to the continent, you'll definitely be fine. Once again, great value for money. The ability to combine premium economy with any of the other compartments with us. I've seen quite a few bookings recently, premium economy combined with business class or economy class in one direction. And even quite a few booking of premium economy in one direction with the mixed economy, premium economy coming back. This type of routing will cost approximately $1,450 plus taxes. Now we're going to look a bit more specifically about the product in itself, the seats and the features of the product on our aircraft. I will also send you separately link to a microsite for premium economy that you definitely can use and also send to your customers for them to have a better idea of what how the premium economy product will look like on our aircraft. As I mentioned before, by the end of this year, the 200 and plus aircraft that are part of our long-haul network of Lufthansa will all have the new premium economy products together with the new business class product as well. As you can see, comfort-wise, it's definitely a bigger pitch and wider as well. Lots of room. Feedback that we've got so far from both direct passengers and through some of you agents that travel on our product has been very positive. The seats are very comfortable. There's a dedicated catering, so there's haddock catering for premium economy, and the whole new product has received very positive feedback from all concerned. Personal space, as you can see, lots of space. The seat reclined, an additional approximately 10 degrees in the standard economy class seats, and also importantly for the entertainment, there's a bigger screen, Wi-Fi on board from almost aircraft, and the latest and up-to-date entertainment in terms of movies and other shows. So as I said before, great feedback from customers. In the space of a few months, out of Australia, we become one of the major markets worldwide in selling premium economy. As we all know, there's a great demand from Australia for this traffic. And compared to some of the other premium economy products out of Australia, specifically Cathay Pacific, British Airways, and the new kids on the block at Singapore Airlines, I think overall the products are very similar. On the plus side, as far as the Lufthansa is concerned, as you hopefully saw through the presentation, is the network, the sheer number of possible destinations and options that are available that none of the other carriers can compete. In terms of flexibility, as you know, please make sure you're familiar with some of the basic conditions on the fare sheet. But if you need any waiver, any additional stopover, if you want to pick up a brain with some more complicated itinerary, never hesitate to do so. And as per all our standard fares, you can contact me or the Sydney team that we will see the addresses soon. This is the second slide. Just give you, this is the latest update on the implementation of the new product. As you can see, there are very few yellow spots without the line that shows that the new business, the premium economy product has been introduced by autumn 2015. All the remaining yellow dots will have the new premium economy product. So basically, this is the end of the official panel presentation. As I mentioned before, these are the two main email addresses if you need to check anything on Swiss and Lufthansa. Specifically, of course, on everything on 100% Lufthansa for premium economy, please use the senior service team email address. Any combined itinerary between Swiss and Lufthansa, you can either use one or the other. As I mentioned before, for any exception, any problem that you have that can be solved by our service team, please don't hesitate to contact Anka or Monica, or eventually even myself directly. I think now we wait for your colleague to come in to open up the microphone so we can have a quick Q&A at the end of the session. And I'll be very happy to answer all your questions. Please don't go away. I'm trying to find your colleague so we can have a brief conversation afterwards. If I can find out the microphone somewhere.
Sorry.
Here she is, sorry.
I was on the phone. Okay, so if anyone has any questions, please just type them in the little box or raise your hand, and we'll be able to answer those for you. So, Stuart says, does the override entry work for LX as well?
That's correct, both for LX and also for Austrian Airlines. So it works for all three carriers. Just remember, as per my presentation, to use the carrier operating between, for example, North America and Europe as your overriding carrier, not the carrier operating between Europe and Asia. So if you have a routing, you're using LX via North America and Lufthansa via Asia, use LX as your overriding carrier to price it. Then you can place it on Lufthansa if you want, but it's very important to remember to price it using the carrier operating between North America and Europe, or Africa and Europe.
Okay, looks like the other question we've got, I recently booked, see that?
Yeah.
LX, SQ, ADL, Singapore,
Frankfurt return, and was surprised by the fact that I had to pay for economy seating when
I generated the seat from that. Are there any seating costs on the PE fare level?
No seating cost with premium economy. So unlike economy class, where there is up to a certain booking class, there is a fee for seat allocation, pre-seat allocation. There's no such fee for premium economy.
Does premium economy get lounge access? I think I have read that somewhere.
Yes, there is actually only in Germany, so Frankfurt and Munich airport, for a fee of 25 euros. So it's not free of charge, but there is a possibility by just presenting the premium economy ticket or boarding pass to have access to the lounge by paying 25 euros. Any other questions?
Any other questions, guys? Michelle, do you have a question, or was your hand just up from before?
Yes.
You have a question?
Yes.
No worries, I've taken you off mute so we can hear you.
Hi, thanks. Yeah, I had clients fly with Lufthansa and use the premium economy product. And I just wanted to ask or clarify, is the area separate to economy? And also, they commented on if the seating front is reclined, they have to climb over a console. Is that correct?
To be honest, I haven't experienced the premium economy product as yet, but I'd be happy to check. It's the first time that I hear this type of feedback, to be honest. And as far as being a separate part of the aircraft compared to economy class, it definitely is. So it comes after the business class compartment, and obviously before the standard economy class option. So the seating is not the same as premium economy, as economy class. It's definitely a different type of seats, a bigger pitch and wider seats as well. But as for the difficulty or not of being able to leave your seat once the one person in front of you reclines the seats, I'm not aware of any such issue. I'd be happy to check. But if it's a major issue, I'd be happy to check for you.
If you could, I'd appreciate that, because that was the one factor that said they wouldn't do it again.
Okay, I will. And you are Michelle. Yeah, I've got your list here. I will send you an email, or somebody from reservation will send you an email by tomorrow.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Michelle. Karen just said she learned heaps and will now join expert.
Good to hear. Well done.
Any other questions, guys? Okay, doesn't look like it. So thank you so much for your time, Gianni.
Thank you.
And thank you so much to everyone for logging on. I have recorded the webinar, so I'll get it up on the Oracle if anyone missed part of it or would like to re-listen. But thank you and have a good afternoon, everyone.
Thank you. And once again, if you have any questions, you have my email address on the screen there. Please feel free to email me anytime you need. Thank you.
Thanks, guys. Take care.